Welcome back to Stoneopolis, episode 12. And in this episode, I must apologise to my daughter because she loves animals in Minecraft, and I didn't expect that lot to get out. When I'm slaughtering a lot of pigs, I thought I had them contained. Ah, right, okay. I did have the pigs contained, but I'm guessing that lava there actually burnt the fence posts I had up away. So let me just try that again. Now, my pig that I've made absolutely ages ago, he's still living his life down in that valley over there. Valley or alley, whichever one way you want to look at it. Come here. So normally pigs, when you hit them, have a tendency to run towards you. Well, it looks like this one doesn't. Oh well, he survives. He survives. Yes, I had a fence post there and I had a fence post there. So I'm guessing that lava that I've just moved from there to there actually destroyed these and burnt them. Now there is a purpose for doing this, which will become clear soon, but because of them having those fence posts in there, you see, they are now contained. They can't get out of that space. I'm actually converting charcoal into coal, and at the same time getting pork chops and miniature red hearts. Now the miniature red hearts I'm not too fussed about, but the pork chops are going to become very useful. So while that's using up some of that, let me just go over quickly what I did off camera because I haven't done a great deal. I've been making creosote. Now the reason I've been making creosote is we're going to need an awful lot of treated wood planks. And of course you use creosote, you know, to make that. Now I haven't been making them manually. I actually put them in this assembler. So you put the recipe in here, put the bucket of creosote in it in the middle. Now this is a ghost recipe, so you're not actually using that up. I've been manually putting the wood in and then putting those barrels here and then setting them to output, and they will push the fluid out straight into the assembler. And then because there's no output on this, they're actually full of meshes. They stack up in here, so you just pull them out manually from here. The only other thing I've done, which is related to the slaughtering of the pigs down there, is I've put cloches here for cabbage, wheat, and I removed the bamboo and put tomatoes there instead. Now you can see that I've only just done that. There's not a great deal of any of those in there. I've added a storage upgrade to the nether quartz, so that can now store 32,000 nether quartz. I also added upgrades, the gold upgrade that is, to the redstone and lapis. So they likewise can now store 73,000 each. Did nothing over that side. I've done nothing with that. I've processed all that gold that we made from the experiment I did in the last episode. That's all been processed, gone through, I manually furnaced it and placed it in here. So this has now got 1,500 gold in there. This needs an upgrade. There's the bamboo that I took from down the bottom. And the only other thing I've been doing here is making charcoal, or turning charcoal into coal. And the reason for doing that is to put it in here to make coal coke, which is not the real reason for doing it. Of course, it's to make creosote. So let me just catch up with this. It's now full. And the reason for getting so much pork chop. Let me just put those in there. I'll carry on this off camera now because you can see. I'm going to explain why I've been doing this. So with pork chop here, we have a cutting board somewhere, just here. Is this the right way round? No, wrong way round. So if you put the pork chop in your offhand and you right click, then right click again. So it's double right click. And then you can hold the buttons down. You will turn that, and you can see it in my hotbar there going up into bacon. I think it's 2 slices per pork chop. I'm going to convert all this pork chop into bacon. And leave the knife there. And then if you hover over U for usage, now there are other meals you can make with this raw, but we actually need to cook it. But what I'm going to do, and if you look at cooked bacon, see this recipe here, a bacon sandwich, far superior to fish. So you've got 5 food and 2, 4, 6, 8 absorption against 3 and 4.5 with the salmon and the other fish, which is cod, I believe. Yes. So that's superior to that. I'm going to cook all this bacon now, rather than stand here and manually do it on the campfires. I'm just going to throw it into these 2 furnaces. Make sure that's topped up with fuel. And we will let that cook for our recipe later on. And the other thing I've been doing off camera is making or being prepared for this next section of the quest line. And for that, we're going to need gold gears. We're going to need bronze gears. So again, it's the gear stamp or metal press mold. And I've also been making, in fact, I think I left this running. Yeah. So that is from 10 iron ingots. No, sorry, 14 iron ingots. So that I had a stack in here, and that was what was left. So that's from 14 iron ingots. So definitely a better way of doing that. This is from 5 iron blocks. They lasted a long time, but this is only 2 steel blocks. So you can see there, they did actually obviously make more than, I thought they had a pig. Oh yeah, that's the one I said can survive. Yeah, so we didn't get the same return as what you do with an iron block, with the steel block, but even so, that's, you know, that's okay. So we're going to need all of these. I don't want to flood this chest. Let's get rid of the bamboo. We don't need that. We're going to need treated sticks. We can get rid of the terracotta. That full. Right, okay. Just create a little bit of room in this chest. In this crafting table for what we're going to be doing. Don't believe we're going to need nether quartz in there. So that can go in there. And we will have another one. Let's get rid of that. We'll use orange wood. Do we need wood? And we can get rid of that into here. How's this doing? Right, that's actually caught up. So let's take all this, convert it into coal. And we'll pop it in there, and that will then burn off more. That will then create more creosote, which we're going to need. I'm not sure how much we're going to need in total, but we're going to need quite a bit more. So what we're going to do today, well, first of all, let's just grab this quest here, the miniature red heart. and we're going to start the latex chapter. Now, the latex chapter are all in the industrial foregoing machines have what we call this frame in the middle, and this frame has a gearbox. And you're going to get used to this gearbox recipe because it literally is in everything to do with industrial foregoing. They got 4 bronze gears, the gold gear, hence why I made all the gears. And then you have this reinforced storage crate. And that is made up of 4 treated wood planks, 2 iron plates, 2 iron rods, and then in the middle here it's not another treated wood planks, it's an actual storage crate, which is 8 of these. So what we're going to do with 1 stack of these is create 8 wooden storage crates, and we'll pop those in here. Don't know why I clicked on that. So let's make our gearbox. I've put it over here in the shortcuts. I'm going to want 4 of those. Just make 2 lots like that. We'll make 2 gearboxes because we can do that. Right, so there's our gearbox. And it gives us another one free, which is always good. And that then allows us to make this pity machine frame. Now for this, you just need any wood. Don't think it has to be stripped, does it? No, it says at the bottom there, accepts any Minecraft logs. So we want any log, which we don't have in there. I do have some on me. We'll use orange because we've got a cloche with some in. And we'll add the pity machine frame also to our bookmarks. If you want to know how to do that, by the way, you just hover over whatever item is and press A, and that puts it over here. And then if you want to get rid of it, you just hover over it over here and press A again, and it removes it. So that's your shortcut. We're going to make 2 of these. And then we need some magenta coloured logs. Now we only have 1 magenta sapling, so we'll create a crook. Plant said sapling, grow it, and then crook it, and that will give us a load more. We could do with the magenta sapling being in our cloches, so I'm going to have to remove something. Let's just have a quick look and see what we can remove, or I might just have to add another cloche. I'm just wondering whether we need 2 orange. Let's remove that and put an orange one in there. Now, of course, that gives us a problem because these are full. We don't actually want the leaves, so what we can do here... Oh, you're going to have a trying time if you walk through that lot. What we can actually do is if I get the linking tool here and unlock this chest, this storage drawer. Now, was it this one that we put them in? Yeah. So we'll unlock that. Now we can remove those 2. We don't want sticks. Well, sticks is actually on there anyway, so that's perfect. So we've now got leaves. I'm not sure if the leaves have actually any use. No, they don't. So leaf blocks, no use at all. Now this drawer has a void upgrade on it, so it can only fill up to 512 and then it will get recycled. So this one can stay as orange, that's fine. This one is magenta. Now we're going to be using that magenta. Thought he died. Let's just pop that pipe back. I thought he died. I actually didn't hear it die. I've got the sound of the screaming pig muffled because it's horrific. So we shall pop those in there. Right, got sidetracked. Where are we? Right, magenta wood. That was the next quest that we've just done. So we've done that one, and now we can make the fluid extractor. Now the fluid extractor, if you're familiar with Industrial Foregoing, will extract and make latex from any log, but in this pack it has to be the magenta coloured log. Can't be any other log apart from magenta, which is why we put it in the cloche down there. We can now automate this process, but let's first make the fluid extractor. What we're missing here, let's see. So we want a piston. We need some cobble and a redstone. And what's that? That's a steel rod. Now we can make steel rods in these just by adding an ingot. I believe the ingot makes the rods and a block makes the plates. Yeah. So we'll need one for now. And what were we missing here? So we needed cobblestone. I thought I had cobblestone. Oh, I took just enough, didn't I? And then we need the pressure plate. Right, that should be everything for the fluid extractor. Right. So the way the fluid extractor works, where should we put this? Let's put it just here. Now, as you can see, or as you probably can't see, that actually places the way that you face. Don't want to jump into that wire. So what we'll do is we'll put it one away. So you can see this side here, the open face. That's where you put your logs. Now it will collect latex without power. So you can see there, I was hovering over the power thing. You can see there that the amount of latex going in is slowly climbing up by 4 millibuckets per work rate. And you'll see the block is actually beginning to break. So these things will actually get broken, which brings us on to how we can automate this setup. So first of all, if we add power to this block, let's try and keep this out of the way. If we put that at the back, can I still get through here? Yeah. So now we've given it power, you can see there, the work rate is actually coming from around about here. So it's cut the power usage down by about a third. Now, you think you can briefly see the progress there, flash 40, before it drops into the 30s. But you can see the ETA there is every 2 seconds. So it's a lot quicker having power hooked up to this machine than it is not having power hooked up. And of course you can actually put upgrades in here as well. So the next thing we're going to make, which is not actually on the quest list here anywhere, is a block placer. Now this is native to this pack because it's one of Ben's mods. There's a block placer here from Stoneopolis Utilities. Now there is one from Industrial Foregoing that you can use, but I believe this one requires power, and in fact it doesn't actually have a recipe at the current time. So whether that will unlock further down when we move up to bigger machine frames, we'll have to see. But this block placer here is actually very easy to make. Simple as that. Just get rid of that. And with the block placer, it places into you. So you're placing it there like that, and then putting magenta wood in there. When this gets used and broken, this should place another one down. Don't think it needs a redstone signal. If it does, then you can just use a comparator, not a comparator, what they called, observers. That's the fella. As long as we can make it, which we can. You can make an observer, place it here, and then just use a redstone run round to trigger the block placer. But I'm pretty sure this will just place a block down. Now, you can't get away with breaking these and then placing another one down or placing it back down again. It saves the block break placement. In fact, I can show you. So if you look at the crack formation in this block, if I take this block away, you'll see the next one that this block placer places down. It's got the same break animation and it will continue from that point. So there's no cheating this process. Now, of course, the block that I've actually took can go back in there and stacks back up. But in effect, it will last the same amount of time. Now, this is actually full, so it's stopped working. So we need a container. Now, the best containers we've got for now are these barrels, I believe. Don't think we've got any other... Well, apart from the big multi-block one. Don't think we've got any tanks. Oh, we can make the Industrial Foregoing tanks, can't we? Yeah, that's straightforward. So the first one holds 16 buckets. The next one holds 64. We have access... Oh, that needs plastic. And we haven't quite got there yet, and that's the reason why we're doing this chapter. So what we'll do for now, they don't require the previous one, which is a shame. There's no like upgrade path for the tank. What's that one? Skystone tank can hold 16 buckets. We can buy Skystone from the catalogue. We haven't got into making Cersei. That is actually relatively easy. Might be easier to do that. If you take normal nether quartz, 5, yeah, normal nether quartz, and you furnace that nether quartz, not furnace. What do you do with it to turn it into this stuff? Oh, you strain it in purified water. So if you take your nether quartz and strain that in purified water, it will give you the Cersei quartz dust. So we just need 4 glass. And then we need some B-books because you get your Skystone from here. There's the 5 we need. I'll leave that running. And of course that has completed a quest for us because that is in the massive storage chapter. Just here. I might as well collect that. Did I not get 4 glass? Oh. And we'll make the quartz glass because that is in fact another quest, but there's no reward for that. So yeah, and a dead end. And we're not doing that quest anyway. I'll leave that quartz in there, and that can be making the Cersei quartz. We have the Skystone on us, so that tank will do nicely. Now the question is, how do we get the latex fluid out of the fluid extractor and into the Skystone tank? Now if you put that at the side, it does nothing. Okay, so Industrial Foregoing for 1.20 I think has done away with the sided upgrades that you used to put in these slots to push items out. And instead, what it's opted for is these fluid transporters and item transporters, and there's also a world transporter. I'm not sure what the world one's for. Now, these fluid transporters work, if you're familiar with a mod called translocators, they're very similar to how they work. So what you would do in this case is place the tank there, and you would place an extractor and an input, and then you right click on the side that you want to go into, and you'll see that the middle part there actually indents. So this is out and that is in, and that's how you would basically do that. And as you can see there, that has put this only holds one bucket, by the way. It doesn't hold much. You can upgrade it so it holds more, but that's how these transporters work. They're very similar to the, well, in fact they're identical, I think, to the translocators. And you can right click on the GUI, and then you've got like filters and blacklists and so on. If you check the Industrial Foregoing manual out for more information on those. So that gets us latex into here. Now, you need a storage of latex because it's actually used later on in another chapter in liquid form. I think it's this fluid sieving down here. You're going to need latex for that chapter. So the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to make a latex processing unit. So this is a straightforward recipe. We need another pitter machine frame, which has got another gearbox, and yeah, you'll find all that very familiar. And there is a latex processing unit. Now this needs power. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it on top of that block there. And we're going to make another pair of translocators. And we're going to have these two fighting with those two. So we've got hopefully a 50-50 output. So I'm going to make two more translocators, put them on this side here, and then we'll hook the power up to the top of this block. I'm going to have to make some more HV connectors because I'm running out of those. Got some wire relays, got plenty of wire. Right, now I'm not sure if this is going to work or not, but we shall try it. See, does that get any of the latex at all? I mean, you can see the white bits there coming through. So, yeah, it's right. That is working now, but it could have been working before. Not seeing any white bits go through the top one. So let's stop that one. Yeah, right, okay. So this actually won't work. Right, so we have latex going in this top one. Let's hook it up to power. This also needs water. Needs water. And our source of water is all the way down here. So you have water and latex, and when the latex goes up to one bucket, that will create plastic. We could set the latex system up here and just have, to move all this over there, we've got it next to the water so we can just pipe it straight into this machine. And we have our first dry rubber. So we can collect that quest and this quest. To process the dry rubber into plastic, we simply smelt it. Let's have our bacon back. For now, we'll put the bacon in here. Let's just open these and see what we get. Probably cobblestone, another heart, and some cabbage seeds. Drop those in there as well. Right, and that is our first plastic. gives us 2 more, which leads us on to the next part. Now we need to do this one. You will need the infinity generators, and this is our electric furnace, and we will definitely get into that one. We need 4 plastic for this, so we'll have to come back in a minute for plastic. We need another pitted machine frame and then 2 furnaces. And we've almost run out of all that treated wood that we had. So we're just waiting on 1 plastic for the resourceful furnace. Oh, there we are. Lovely. Right on cue. And there we have it, our first electric furnace. Now we could have made an arc furnace, but that is very resource intensive. You know, mess about making rods. I much prefer the resourceful furnace. Now, the neat thing about this is it can furnish 3 things at once, and of course you can upgrade it. Let me just grab an HV cable, and I'll show you. Let's put this, where should we put it? Somewhere. Now it needs to go obviously down here. Eventually we'll replace a lot of this stuff, but just so I can show you how this works, let's put it just here so we won't fry ourselves. Now I know we're creating a plus in iron. Oh, it's not a very big plus. Just take that out of there. We've got anything else that we can use. What's in this one? It's more iron. Let's take a couple of this tin. Right, so if I shift click that in, you'll see that it only does 1 at a time, but it'll do multiple. Now, I did steal that out of there, so let me just try that again. So you can see you can do different types at once, and it has 3 output slots for said stuff. But the key here is that you can't put stacks of material in. It only actually takes 1 at a time. So whatever you're using to feed this has got to be able to hold quite a lot of items. Now, a hopper should be good enough, but you will create a delay from there to the items dropping in. So if I just... Oh, can I sneak through there? Oh, that's a wooden hopper. Let's get a normal hopper. Now, I think the input's probably... It shouldn't really matter. Yeah. So you can set inputs by clicking that box and then unticking or ticking. Now, by default, everything's ticked on each one. And you'll also notice here that it has essence. So this is life, not life essence as in the blood magic essence, but as in XP essence. So it creates that. You're going to need an outlet for this. I think it will still furnace when it fills up. I hope it does, because that's be a real pain in the backside if it doesn't. But you can see there just briefly how the resourceful furnace works. And you can see by default it's considerably faster than a normal furnace. So it's about between 5 and 6 seconds for 3 items. Yeah, it starts at 5. If you compare that to a normal furnace, it's about 10 seconds for 1. Whereas this, you get in 3 within 5 seconds. So yeah, considerably quicker. This is going to... I'm going to stay with the vanilla furnaces for our charcoal system, simply because most of the time it's sat here doing nothing. Because the charcoal is used by these two. Oh, there was something on the floor then. So it doesn't use a great deal. How are we getting on with our meshes? So we've almost used all the iron meshes up. This is actually just waiting for us to flick all these two strainers here. There's only really those two. Oh, and these four. So there's 4 strainers in here, all using iron. Oh, that's good. So, yeah, there we go. We've just seen in action our split working. I was kind of concerned that this back one wasn't actually getting any. Because our silver amount that's in the drawer is not very high, but our whatever this one made, tin, that's quite high. So I was a little concerned that that split wasn't working. Now it's a bit hit and miss. Right, they're okay. That's okay. That's keeping up. That's never going to keep up, but we also ascertained that that wasn't a problem. Right. Now, because of our iron, I managed to get 12 iron dust on me. Maybe I picked up more than a stack. We're going to need at least 2 resourceful furnaces for this system. One because our iron is never going to end, and then another one for the other 3. So it should cope with the tin, gold, and copper. Should be good enough for that. I think there's only the tin, copper, and gold. The silver goes straight into these, so shouldn't be an issue there. Oh, this needs water. Just pop some more water in. And I've used my buckets. Of course I have. Because I believe we're going to need some more. Infinity generator needs 4 plastic. Now the reason these two are positioned like this is because there is a blood magic node behind this feeding the fuel in. They never run out. So we'll pop those in there and they can be processing those. So we've made the furnace. The infinity blade here is just 2 plastic and a stick. We'll make that. The good thing about the vitality blade is that it can store heart canisters, and that increases the damage this does. And guess what we made a load of? Where did I put them? Hearts. So we can put the hearts in the canisters, like so, with a bit of bronze. Add them to the vitality blade, and that will give this blade more damage than the 8 defaults that it does. Now, we've no real need at the minute for a vitality blade, but when it comes to killing the wither, that's going to be very useful. So let's get cracking with the infinity side of things. So we need to make the infinity generator. We need 4 plastic for this and 4 blocks of redstone, and we need 1 of these. That should be done by the time we get back down from our redstone. We do need some more buckets for water. Make 4. That should give us 4 plastic. We've got the right amount of fluid in, which we might have by the time that this finishes. Yeah. And that's the infinity generator. That gives you the BBL Infinity book. I'm not sure, is that book actually in the other? I know that's Stoneopolis Utilities. Yeah, the BBL Infinity book is actually in this what I keep wanting to call it the other name. It's Eccentric Tome. It's the Akashic Tome, the other one. I keep wanting to call it that. So this book really has no use at all. So we'll chuck that in the trash can. This book's very useful. It shows you the different infinity generators that you can make. Now, some of these may or may not work, and I'll need to check up this with the Magenta Discord, and I'll do that in between this episode and the next one, because we're not going to make an infinity generator. But just to go through it briefly, these are multi-block structures, and they need a catalyst in the middle block, in the center block. So you'll see if we place this down, has a slot. Now you have to feed the infinity generator an item for it to work. So that tends to be depending on what type of generator it is. So this one, the steam one, requires a turbine. The gold one requires gold items. The infernal one has multiple fuel types, I believe. Lava one requires heat cores. Steam one, we've already done the steam one, and the gold one. Furnace one requires the furnaces to be working, I believe. It uses the heat from the adjacent furnaces to produce RF. So yeah, this might be useful in our setup there, but typically it's not. But that gives you an idea of the different multi-block furnaces. Now we'll need to use those because we're going to be going back into the void later on in the fluid sieving chapter, I believe it is. Might even be back to the void chapter. Yeah, it's back to the void, hence its title. So let's make this now. Now this is straightforward. It's all sticks around a glass pane. And you use that little gizmo, this, to detect the structures. So if there, I'm right-clicking to check the structure, it'll tell you whether they're actually formed properly or not. So we'll put that alongside that. So we'll come back to the infinity generator. Definitely by the Back to the Void chapter. I'm not sure if we'll use them beforehand. There is additional quest here for the conveyor belt, but I'm not going to go on to that because we can now get onto this, which is the dissolution chamber, but we're not going to go into that chapter for now, into fluid sieving. I'm going to stop here, and that's the end of episode 12. So I hope you enjoyed the episode. We've covered a good 90% of the latex chapter. We just need to make the vitality blade, which I'll do off camera. Like I said, it's not a very complicated recipe. It's just 2 plastic and a treated stick. And I shall most likely move this system over there by the side of the cloches where we've got access to the water, so we can pump water direct into this. I only really set it up there temporary, and I'll have a look and see if there's a better way of splitting the latex out. This has got quite a big storage, so it would have to, fill up a lot of slots unless we can actually put items in here, which we can. So you could mask out the slots. So it didn't have to actually fill all 9 slots up before it backed up with latex and then gave us latex in liquid form. So you could do that if you wanted to. But yes, so that's the end of episode 12. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. Stay safe, and I shall catch you next time.